official Run to Remember Memorial Marathon podcast. I'm your host, Kristin Fairs, back with another great episode, this time live at the Race Expo. It is so exciting to be here back at the Race Expo in April. I'm here with Race Director Kari Watkins. Kari, hello.
Can you believe it? We're here.
No, we're here. We made it.
Major race weekend. You're still in one piece. Madeline's ready to go. We're all here.
We're ready to go. There's so many people down here. I encourage you to make your way downtown. Check out all the great things we have going on.
So we're live for the next 90 minutes. If you guys are near the expo, come in and give us, there's an open mic, come tell us. And we've got our good friend Yvette Trachtenberg, who's here. She was on a couple of weeks ago. Yvette, how's the training? You ready to go Sunday?
Well, I told you on the podcast that this is my favorite part. The expo is so much fun, so definitely come down. And I hope I'm ready. I'm done.
You're ready.
No more running until Sunday.
You're ready to go.
I'm ready
Yvette,
to go.
Have you found a new mattress here yet?
No
today?
mattresses, but there's
I
other
heard
things.
that there's no mattresses, but there's a lot.
Real-time pain relief's great. There's great T-shirts, Gorilla Heels here. There's
Lots
all
of gear.
kinds of gear.
Yeah, I'm excited to walk around.
Well,
all right.
Yvette, it's going to be a great day.
It's going to be a great day. I've watched the weather every day. It's looking better and better, so there's nothing to stop us. Let's do it.
That's right.
We'll see you at the start line, and we'll be cheering you on to the finish line.
Thank you. Thank you
Thanks.
for everything. This
Thanks.
is really great.
All right. Thanks for being here.
All
Thanks,
right.
Yvette.
Good luck
All
to
right.
you.
Okay, now we are joined by Perrin Duncan. She's going to join us today. She's running the half marathon for the second time, and you have a busy weekend.
Right. I'm so excited. So I ran my first full in October.
Okay.
And I've run several halves, but this is actually my first time running the half for
The Memorial Marathon.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
awesome.
Good.
And so I'm so excited, and this race is so important to me. We have two big family weddings this weekend, one tonight and one tomorrow night, but I still wanted to be there on Sunday morning, involved with the community.
Stay
and a
off
part
the
of this.
sauce and
Yeah.
drink water.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm telling myself.
Hydrate.
I'm like,
It
gonna
could be
get on the
hot on
dance floor.
Sunday.
Right. Right. This weather is that's why we train in all conditions, because
Right.
you're ready for whatever it is that.
Yes.
The
The
good
weather
news, I
brings
think the
us.
weattre might push you into the finish line. So that's
Amazing.
let's hope
This is
that
true.
happens.
This is
Yes,
true.
if we can end with the wind, I'll be happy.
Yes,
My
we
body
need the
will be
wind
happy
at our
too.
backs on the way home.
So Perrin, tell us your story. You grew up in Oklahoma City, went to Edmond North, and tell us a little bit more about you.
Yeah, I actually didn't start running until, I ran a little bit in high school. I was on the track team just because I needed the PE credit for
Right.
a semester. I rode horses competitively. That was my main sport. And started running in college. I had a really great group of girlfriends at DePauw University. It's in Indiana. And ran my first half marathon my junior year of college. And then after I graduated from DePauw, I moved to Ireland, and I lived there for 2 years.
I saw her in Ireland, by the way.
Really?
I
It
did.
was
I went
so
to see her.
amazing.
I bet there were lots of pretty places to run. in
Oh,
Ireland.
my gosh.
I ran on the coast of the Atlantic Ocean every single morning. And,
oh, wow. That's a good place to fall in love with running.
right.
No kidding.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And then I moved to Thailand, and I was there for about a year before I moved back to Oklahoma City, sort of unexpectedly because of the pandemic. But one of the best parts about moving back to Oklahoma City is the running community and the cycling community, the health community in general. And I know that the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon does so much to support that. And I run with Red Coyote. They've been amazing in terms of creating a support system and a social life for me in a time when COVID made everything so weird.
Right.
But I made a lot of good friends through training with Red Coyote, and running is just a big part of my life.
Right.
Well, it's been over 1,090 days since we've run in April together,
Right.
so we're
It
very
is-
excited to
yeah,
be back.
It's
And
special to be back in
having
April.
the young runners come up and run, that makes it so important. So we're so glad you're a part of it, and just that you want to come and run, I think says a lot about you. If you had to convince a friend to come run this race, what would you tell them? It wouldn't be the wind, I'm sure.
So I was actually reflecting on this recently, why Oklahoma City's marathon is so special. And I think that of the different runs and races that I've competed in around the world, really, what makes Oklahoma City's so special is that the beneficiary of the marathon is so connected to this place. You might have a nonprofit that a race is benefiting that is connected in some ways, or the location of the nonprofit is centric to that city. But here, we're running in a place that the history of the mission of the memorial touches every part of the ground that you're running on.
Right.
And I just think that it's so powerful. Coming in to the finish line last October, and seeing the faces on each banner, I was like, and I'm not that emotional of a person, but I couldn't keep from crying. It's just so special. And you see everyone out there. It's just such a day of hope and resilience, and it's so much more than just the run.
Oh, sure.
So,
and I mean, just the support from the people along the course, and the volunteers, and the people out cheering, and the neighborhoods that we run through, it's unmatched. You can't get that in another place.
Right.
And there's incredible medical along the course. I know you both are dealing with a little injury, but there are great medical doctors and sports trainers all along the course, and just don't hesitate to run in and ask for help if you guys need it.
Right.
And I know neither one of you will, but I mean, for all the runners, there's incredible. I think about the medical volunteers, and we honored some this morning as we opened the. And we'll talk to one of them in a second. But I mean, the frontline workers who still work this race after the last 2.5 years of what they've done just blows me away. I mean, like, I'm really absolutely just mesmerized by people willing to do this. So we're so glad you're here, Perrin, and have a great race.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good luck, and have a fun weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you. You will too.
We'll
It's
see you at the
gonna be
finish
amazing.
line.
Oh yes, we will.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for
Thanks,
joining
Perrin.
us, Perrin.
Thank you all for doing this.
Thanks.
This is seriously just such a gift. So I appreciate it.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Enjoy. Best of luck.
Well, we're so glad she's around and helping and just bringing along. She helped us build our TikTok channel this year, and we're really glad. So next up is Jonathan Edison, a frontline healthcare worker. Jonathan helped open the Expo today, and we're going to get him seated and on. And I think Jonathan is from OU Health, and he is administrative manager and a registered nurse. You're running the Why We Run series.
That's correct.
You're running all weekend. You're running tomorrow and Sunday. So you're running the 5K and then
The half marathon.
half-
on Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah.
wow,
Very
it's amazing.
cool. That is.
So, what made you want to run the race?
Yeah, so it's a good question. Thank you, Kari. This is home, right? So I'm from Oklahoma. Grew up here, was born and raised here. I remember the bombing like it was yesterday. It was such a vivid memory in my mind. So to not run, to me personally, I feel like it would be a dishonor to those that died that day. I do it every year, even when I'm out there running and training. I'm like, man, I am just sick of running. Once I kind of see the banners, kind of go up on by work at OU Health, I really start to get that inspiration again. So that's the reason why I run. I run it for those who cannot.
Well, the work you and your coworkers did over the last two plus years as we battled through this pandemic truly do represent the Oklahoma Standard, and we got to honor you guys this morning. Was that special for you, and realize that how much people appreciate all the work you do?
Yeah, it really is it's a great honor. My background is a nurse, but I segued over into supply chain during the pandemic. So
That was kind of important.
Yeah, it was definitely a trial by fire, right? I mean, I never done supply chain before, and so to take this new role on and then have this pandemic happen, it was such an eye-opening experience, to say the least. And then to hear about my fellow coworkers, what they're going through at the bedside, and then for my part, I was really just trying to help get supplies in as much as we could, whether it's gloves, masks, things like that. Like every hospital system throughout the nation, we were all pushed to our end, and we were just wits end, and but we did it. We survived, and we're still going through it.
And during that time, was it easy to find time to run, or was it kind of more important to find time just for your mental health even?
Exactly. It was very hard to find time because we were putting long hours in at the office. So those decompression moments were on the weekend and after work, if I could, or early morning runs. That was very important to my mental health, is because you would spend 15, 16 hours at the office just trying to get a mask in or trying to get gloves in or something like that. And then hearing, through daily reports of what your coworkers are going through. So definitely a stressful time. Definitely needed my decompressing moments, and running was there for me for that.
So what's special about this race to you?
Oh man, like I said, it's what isn't special about it? It's such a spiritual journey, no matter whether you're the kids marathon or the marathon. I think every step out there is such a spiritual step, right? At least for me. Like I said, I know it's been such if you're from this area, if you're from home, you remember that day.
Right.
And then, like I said, to be out there, to run for those who cannot run, to remember those that died, to see those banners, and then to come in the finish line and see the faces. That's the reason why I like to do it.
Yeah. What makes you do the Why We Run series, the running both days?
Yeah.
Is that new? Have you done that before?
So I
guess
think
you
it was
could have
last
done it
year, right?
Year.
It was something like, hey, that sounds fun, right?
You get another medal.
Yeah, another medal.
T-shirt.
Yeah,
That's right.
You get a special medal, I think. I think you get an additional T-shirt. And,
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, so I like it a lot. So yeah, it's a great series.
Well, you are amazing, and I just think I really do. When we were standing there with the healthcare workers from 3 of the hospitals who are also major sponsors of this race, you realize, you guys are just doing yeoman's work. You still are, and it reminds us much of like what we saw in 1995 of the nurses and the doctors racing to the building to help, and that lasted for days. And I think about what you guys have done over the last 2+ years. We just can't say thank you enough, and we're proud of OU Health for being a sponsor of the Expo, and I know you represent them well, and we just want to say thank you and best of luck. We'll see you the next 2 days.
All right, guys, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.
Have a fun weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, everyone is talking about the weather.
Yes, that has been the hot topic.
Yeah, the weekend weather is very important, and joining us now is Colin Perry with Perry Weather. Colin has been helping us predict the weather for the marathon for 9 years, and he still keeps coming back. We've
Maybe
watched
this might be the year that
we've watched some fierce storms through the years, but Colin looks at the course. We depend on the local weather stations to look at the metro and their viewing audience, but Colin's kind of zoomed in the 26.2. What are we thinking, Colin? How's it looking?
So, I feel like it wouldn't be...
No pressure, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'd be very important for me to say that I don't change the weather, right?
Okay, that's right.
But no, I think it's looking a lot better. Some of the more recent models have been showing that this frontal system that we're concerned with is going to be moving through probably 3 to 5 a.m. Typically, they kind of move a little bit quicker than some of what the models say. So I think overall, we have got a pretty good confidence that this system is going to be out of the area, and threat of lightning and even rainfall should be out of the Oklahoma City kind of route by start time.
Okay.
That's good news. What about the wind?
Well, people that are trying to get their last minute training in are going to be kind of dealing with the fierce southerly wind that you guys have been dealing with today and tomorrow. But once that cold front moves through, winds will shift out of the north and actually won't be as bad as they've been today and tomorrow. So probably 10 to 15 miles an hour, whereas today we're going to be dealing that 20 to 30 mile an hour with some gusts up to 40.
Oh, wow.
So Chris Fleming, who's the chairman of our trustees, he oversees the marathon. He's asking if you can give him the northerly winds at the halfway point about 8:30.
Yeah, let me look into my magic crystal ball and see if I can put that out for him.
We want the wind at our backs the
Yes.
entire race. Okay.
Well, I know it's going to be a great weekend, but you really are focused on every day. We take it a day at a time, and we know that tonight. Concert's good. We were good to come out to the park. Maybe a little windy.
Yeah, it's just going to be a little windy, but yeah, conditions should be fine.
Dry?
Dry for the most part. We're not expecting really any sort of thunderstorm activity. Just going to be a little windy, but it should be a great time for everyone to come and enjoy this wonderful event.
Okay, and then we've got the 5K and the kids marathon in the morning. How's it looking for the morning tomorrow?
Yeah, so there is a slight chance of rainfall in the morning, but I don't think it's going to be anything that should really hindrance any sort of the runners or race. Our biggest threat is going to be later in the afternoon and evening, which will be well after the time of the race. So honestly, I think the timing is the more exciting thing about how the weather is going to be a little bit volatile, but we kind of expect that springtime in central Oklahoma. But the morning should, I think, be great for all the kids in the 5K.
That's great. Well, what about anything you recommend runners prepare for the weather, or anything that you want to go over?
Yeah, I think, the thing that people should know, it is hot. And, we've got that strong southerly wind, so it's really warm today and it's going to be warm tomorrow. But with the cold front coming through, it's actually going to drop temperatures a little bit. So start of the race, anticipate, you may get out there and you're thinking, oh, wow, it's 60 degrees outside. But just remember that cold front's going to come through. We're not going to see 40s or 30s or anything like that. But it will be a little chilly at the beginning of the race, probably in the mid to upper 50s. But as the sun kind of comes out, we'll see temperatures kind of warm up a little bit into the mid 60s. But just be aware that it's going to be a little cooler than it's been the last couple days.
That's great for runners.
Oh, it's perfect. I mean, you want it to be, kind of a little bit chillier, so as your body warms up, it can kind of keep itself cooler just naturally.
Well, one thing we know is we have a very strict weather, and if there's lightning, we delay it. Someone asked, if there is a delay, when will we be notified? Well, as soon as we know. I mean, the question is, if we could be all systems go, and if a storm blew in, we'd have to make the call, and some of you lived through that a few years ago. We'll try not to do that. We won't ever delay it 2 hours again, I can promise you that, because I'm still hearing about it. But if we see a storm that's going to come in, or that this slows down, and that we would need to start the race late, we would notify all the runners, and we'd let them know that ahead of time as soon as we knew.
And how would that notification come across?
So that would go through their email,
Okay.
through the text messaging. If you have the app, and everyone should have the Memorial app,
Yes.
then there's text messaging allowed on that. We would do it on the media, Channel 4, and the Magic and Franchise and all the Tyler teams. And so we would get it out every way we knew. And so we're just hoping that all systems
Right.
keep moving, and
Hoping we don't
we'll
have to
be
use
ready
that.
for it. And we're hoping the winds aren't so strong that we still have tents up on Sunday morning. But that's all the game. It's just we do the best we can. We're counting on the skies parting, and
We are.
Colin will do his part and predict the science, and we have to make the tough decisions.
That's right.
But
team effort.
It's looking much better, and we're excited about
Yeah,
that.
I think there's a lot of confidence that this system's going to move through. It could stall out, but it'll stall out south of us, which is, other people's problems, but the marathon is looking really great.
Good.
Good.
Well, we couldn't do it without you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Colin.
Great to be a part of this, and thanks for having me.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming up from Dallas, and asked him to come on early so we could have him on the podcast. We're
We
really
appreciate
grateful.
that.
So let's just think about kind of what it's been. Really, this is 3 years since we've run
Right.
in person in April. So
Over 1,000 days.
over 1,000 days. And the mayor was saying this morning in the press conference, last time we ran in April, the park wasn't open, the convention center wasn't finished, and neither was the hotel. So
Wow.
we're using all three of those this weekend
Right.
in full proportion. And so we're very excited the fact that we were able to get this done. So don't forget, if you're stopping by the expo, grab your bib and T-shirt and stop by the podcast booth and give us an update on your story.
Yes, and don't forget, it's not too late to sign up. Carrie, when I was walking in, there's a lot of people at the registration
Yeah,
signing
we're
up.
so excited. I mean, we
Yes.
busted 13,000. Let's see if we can get to 14,000 by the end
That'd
of
be
tomorrow.
awesome. Yeah, now that the weather's looking good.
Everybody come on down. Well,
Come
look
on
who's,
down.
Look who's in the house.
It's a random all.
Random all Steve Bolton in his inaugural Memorial Marathon T-shirt.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. That's an antique,
2001. Dude, that is very cool.
Good.
Very, very cool.
Well, Steve, how are you feeling about number 22?
I'm feeling pretty good. I actually signed up for the series last night.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you?
So you're going to
Yeah.
do the 5K in the
So I'm
morning?
going to do the 5K in the morning. I did it last year. I walked with my sister last year, and I'm going to run with my wife tomorrow. And then I'm really feeling pretty good for the marathon on
You're
on
making
Sunday.
everybody happy.
Well, there you go.
There
That's
you
right.
go.
Try to.
That's right.
So, Steve, how do you stay motivated to do this every single year, 22 years in a row?
Well, I was born and bred in Oklahoma City. So this marathon has very emotional
Sure.
touch with me. So it's not that difficult to get out every January and even last year in August
Right.
and start training even in the heat. And I definitely like it in April better than October.
Yeah.
Just the training portion of it. and-
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The run itself, the day was gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't beat
Right.
the
The
day.
October run
Yeah.
was gorgeous, but
But
the
the
training
training's
is hot.
But
brutal.
getting there through the heat is hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What you have two loves this weekend: the Arts Festival, where I saw you last weekend getting ready, and
That's
the
true.
marathon. So I guess they've let you off the hook for 2 mornings to come run, and then you go back and volunteer.
Well, the good part is the festival doesn't open till 11.
Oh, that's right. So, you're
So
screeching
tomorrow
in.
I should be done by 11 and
Hopefully.
and make it over there. But I was actually the co-chair in 2017. It's a 2-year commitment, And when they asked me to do it, the first thing I said, "You realize I'm going to run the marathon on Sunday?" And they said, "No problem." So.
Well, we have a great partnership with
Yeah.
them. In 1995, the Arts Festival was ready to open, and they couldn't open because of the bombing. Arts councils from all over the country sent them donations to keep them afloat until they could get back on their feet. They sent artists that were already in town to hospitals and it was called the Myriad then, to help put up art for the rescue teams, which was remarkable. But to be there Saturday night and to help you guys open that again, and the fact that it opened on Tuesday, April 19th, was really, really very special to us. And it was just a great way to say we're all in this together, and we're rebuilding our city together.
Yeah, we did 168 seconds of silence.
That's what I heard. It's pretty
At
powerful.
the festival, and it reminded me of when we do it before the start of the race, because all you could hear were birds and helicopters.
Yeah, I heard from several people how powerful that was. I'm really impressed that was done. What advice do you have for people?
For longevity of running,
Or just conquering the course?
It's just, well, conquering the course. I didn't exactly hear. I got to follow the weatherman. I didn't exactly hear what he had to say about the wind, but the south wind blowing down Classen does not sound fun to me.
I think it's going to be at our backs.
Well, that would be great if it's going to
Right.
be from the north.
Yeah.
Kristen was saying you guys have trained in wind
We
all week.
have. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's been
At least you Oklahomans have
yeah,
trained in wind.
It has been a windy spring, and
has
so
been.
it'd be really hard to not have had at least a little bit of wind practice if you've been running outside at all during this marathon training. So yeah.
But just to keep running year after year, you just have to listen to your body and pay attention to it. I know a lot of runners that overtrain, that type of thing, and once you begin to feel that, you've got to back off.
Right.
Or you can't just continue. I mean, it's amazing. I think there's 33 of us left.
There's 34 running.
34,
Yeah.
okay. And a few years back, I was at the 26th California International, and at the start of the race, they announced their one person that had run them all.
Oh wow.
So I'm just thinking I think that brings the connection that Oklahoma City pulls people together versus like California International. They'll have the same purpose.
And
Yeah.
it just
with the
shows how
memorial and
special
all
our
that.
race is.
It
too.
does.
Yeah.
You're right.
So you've run this 22 times now. What's your favorite part of the day or of the course, either?
The start
Yeah.
is always very emotional. The banners, usually running down Grand over in Nichols Hills. This last year, it was when the course was changed and we ran down. Is it Lakeshore or Lake?
Through Lakehurst neighborhood.
Lakehurst.
Yeah.
Those people were crazy. I mean, they
they're
must have
trying
had
to-
a mile-long party.
Yeah,
you
they're
know?
trying to beat Gorilla Hill.
They are.
Because
Well,
every time I teach
and
Gorilla
Gorilla
Hill,
Hill-
they're like, "Oh no, wait, you just wait. Come to Lakehurst."
And I think they've got a lot of even
Momentum.
more stuff planned
Yeah.
for,
Yeah, so
for this weekend.
Gorilla Hill with Tigger at the bottom and the grill at the top. I mean, it's just there's you.
the chief
it's
gorilla is
almost-
Steve Cole's over there, so I see him.
And the thing about the race is I see people along the route that I know. And, I'm not real big on time. I'm just trying to finish. So I'll stop and visit and have a mimosa or, whatever
So
might
you're
be
one of
going
the
on
one-
at the time.
Okay, so you stop and have fun along the way.
I
We've
do.
talked to some people
Yeah.
that
So you're not trying to make a certain time. You're just trying to have a good time.
I want to finish, of course.
Yep.
But I also I sort of run from, I ought to see this person here and I'm going to see that person there. And that sort of breaks
Right.
the marathon up
Yes.
for me mentally.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
Yeah. I know.
Well, Steve, thank you very much for coming and running and staying with us all 22 years. We hope you have a great weekend. And
Yes, that's a huge accomplishment. Congratulations.
Thank you. And thanks for asking me to come down.
absolutely,
you.
we'll look
Thank you.
forward to seeing you at the finish line. Thanks for being a great ambassador for our race as well. Well, one of the reasons this race is so special is because of why we run.
Right.
And joining us today are some of my very favorite people. Albert and Cindy Ashwood are joining us on the set, and Albert is, I'd say these two have a very both personal and professional connection to this story. Albert was the director of the Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management in 1995. Cindy's sister died in the bombing, and these two have been by our side, and they're Cindy's wonderful parents, Don and Sally, really are my lifelong friends. I've known them forever. They've been great, but you guys have been tremendous, and you're here helping today, volunteering. Thank you guys so much. And tell us why. You guys told me a while ago this is one of your favorite weekends of the year. Tell us why.
Oh, it is. We just look forward to this weekend all year long because it's so joyous to us, especially a year like this where the marathon is right after the anniversary, which is such a solemn, very important day that the memorial does such a great job with, and it's always kind of tough to get through, but then the marathon, it just brings us so much happiness and joy because it's a great celebration.
It's a celebration of life. I mean, we really enjoy every time we come to the marathon. I think we've only missed one race, actually, in the years that we've
that's
had the
right.
marathon.
I wasn't able
So you
to
guys
do
have,
it.
you guys have done a relay, haven't you? And you've done the 5K.
Kids marathon first.
Okay.
Kids marathon, relay.
Well, now we
then-
did the relay with our kids when they were
Yeah.
in college, and
They gave us a really great time.
They did. They did. And then our daughter-in-law and our son kind of moved out, and so our daughter and her friends were part of our relay team.
Okay.
And then they found a fourth teenager, so they said, "Dad, you need to go find your own race."
Yeah,
Basically.
so
They kicked you out?
That's when he started doing
I
the
started doing the
half.
half marathon then.
Okay.
And it was perfect because the year that we did it, I finished the half and was waiting for the relay team, and that's when the hail came down.
Oh, that was perfect.
I was done.
Karma's good.
Yeah, karma
Yeah.
was good.
Karma always works in your favor.
Well, it did for him that day.
What do you guys, what keeps you guys coming back? You're volunteering this weekend. Really, what do you have to say to the runners who come from all over the country, 47 states? I think every county in Oklahoma is represented here today. What do you guys say to those runners?
We're working the Why We Run booth today, and we just tell them thank you so much for participating, for not only supporting the marathon, which of course supports our wonderful memorial, but brings such awareness to the Oklahoma City bombing and the memorial.
And by all means, we're not runners. We do this for the memorial. We do this because it's important to our family. And we start around Christmas every year and say, well, we better start moving again.
Really ought to get ready.
But we do it, and it's so important to us and so important to our family that I just can't imagine not doing it. And the people who come in from other states, we're just so very grateful, so very thankful that
We met
support
two
us.
guys from Maine this morning.
Oh, you did already?
Yeah, already. And it was amazing.
And talk to me from the perspective of a family member who lost a life in the bombing, just kind of about the banners. What does that mean to you?
The banners, every year we're always looking for, and my sister's name was Susan, I called her Susie. We're always looking for Susie's banner. And so that's always exciting for us every year to when we see them going up and to know where her banner is. And then when you're on the race route,
Right.
it's so inspiring and so moving. And then last year, when we did this in October, then those pictures in the end to the finish line.
Yes.
Wow, that was impactful. And so
Helco, one of our sponsors, made those for us. We'd seen that done at a children's race in Columbus, Ohio, and we're like, that speaks to us. So Helco, a local company that does stop signs and all the lighting all over the world, is headquartered in Edmond, and they put those together, and I'm so proud of those. And you'll see those again this year. As you come down Lee, as you turn Lee and come down Oklahoma City Boulevard, you'll see the 168 faces of why we're running.
And we've talked to so many people throughout this podcast, and so many of them mention the banners and how impactful it is, and how if you're out on the course and it's getting tough, that those banners provide motivation.
They do. They do. And then for us, for family members and close friends who were waiting for news and were involved in the aftermath of the bombing, and I call myself a half marathon mosier, but when I feel like I'm getting worn out, and I think of all of them, I think about my sister, and I think about that day, and I thought, I can do this.
Right.
Yeah, I can finish. I can finish.
Let's just talk about Dawn and Sally Farrell for a second, if you guys don't mind. Your dad's, they're 90?
He's 93,
90.
and Mom turns 89 next Tuesday.
Okay, so they've been a great example to me for a long time. Our dad, your dad, my dad ran the newspaper business growing
Right.
up, but great example of people who had enormous loss but figured out how to find the very best out of a horrible situation and have always been by our side. If not always, we haven't always agreed on everything, but we figured out how to meet in the middle. And I can't say enough about Don and Sally and just the love they've given to us. The first thing Wednesday morning, I had an email from your mom who said, I want an address for the pastor of the church and the police and all these people who had helped so she could personally write a thank you note. And I was thinking about pastor of the church to receive a handwritten note from Sally Farrell. There's nothing like it. I've gotten them. There's nothing like them. But I just can't say enough about your parents and just the love they've given and set great examples. Albert's on our board. Cindy, you're a judge. You're both great public servants.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for all you do.
Well, thank you, and thank you for giving them a shout out. They're two of my favorite people.
I know. I like them a lot, too.
Well, they're just the most gracious people.
They
in the
are.
world.
Oh, my God.
They
really
are. And when she says she's going to write a note, she writes a
She
note.
writes a
Right.
note. Yeah.
So she's still waiting on one of those addresses, so tell her I'll get it to her, I
I'll
promise.
tell her. She's on it, Mom, if you're
That's
listening.
right.
It might be Monday.
It might be Monday morning.
Carrie's a
that's
little
right.
busy
She's
right
a
now.
little
Oh,
tired.
I really thank you guys so much, and it
Well,
means
thank
so much
you.
to the runners for you guys to be given to meet family members and to be at the finish line given medals. It means a lot to the runners. We hear that all the time, and so we're really glad to have you guys.
Well,
Well,
thank you for
Thank you,
letting
guys.
us be involved in this part of it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, you guys, Kristin, we're making some great progress here. We're going to bring in Whit Raymond, our
Oh, good.
our race
Our
announcer,
race announcer.
who's in from I don't know where he's
We'll
from
find
now,
out where
but
he's coming from.
he's living all over the world. But let's just think about where we are. We're in the Expo. We're back by the T-shirts.
Yes, come see us.
The
Stop by.
Expo's sold out, you guys. It is unbelievable to see. Thank you guys thanks to the Ashwoods thank you guys so much. This is a great spirit around this place, and
The energy is contagious.
That's the word.
Yes.
The energy is contagious. Yes.
It
So
is. Lots of gear, nutrition to try if you need some. Well, maybe don't try something new on race day, 'cause
Yeah.
we've talked about that a lot on the podcast. But if you need to get your nutrition,
I think you're going
get
here.
some more of it. There's lots of places to pick that up.
They're telling me that mic works better than this mic. So
Yep.
sit by Kristin.
Hi, Whit. Hey. We are glad you are here.
Thank you. Should I put on the headphones here, I
Yes.
guess? All right.
That would be great. So, where are you joining us from, Whit? Where have you been?
Just flew in from San Francisco last night. Just arrived last night from the West Coast.
And how about this wind?
Well, it's typical of Oklahoma City at this time of year, isn't it?
It is.
You know, hopefully it tapers down a little bit, but
Sounds like it.
We'll be okay.
it's breezy. I think Sunday, tomorrow we may have a little bit of weather, but
Yeah.
sounds like Sunday things look pretty good.
We're going to
pretty
make
favorable.
it. We're absolutely going to make it.
Excited to be back.
So let's talk about the races. What's your favorite part of the race?
My favorite part of the race, I think, is just the human spirit, the Oklahoma standard, the hospitality that the Oklahomans bring here to welcome everybody. Each and every year, I think we have athletes coming from all 50 states and in numerous different countries. Obviously, in 2020, we couldn't do the event, but Kari, your crew has pulled it off in 2021 in October. It seems it was just a month ago that I was
Right,
here,
that
and it
we
was
were all
6
here
months.
together.
You know, two Oklahoma City Memorial marathons in the span of 6 months.
Well, see, I was saying 2 in a year, and Hardy was like, well, actually, you guys have pulled it up 2 in 6 months. You need to give yourselves a break.
Right.
So once I kind of got that in my head, I was like, we must be crazier than I thought we were, and that's pretty crazy.
So, Whit, how many years have you been calling the Oklahoma City race?
So since 2008. So, it's 14 years. 14?
Yeah.
If you-
Well, I'm not. I would
Yeah.
need to get my fingers out to count my math. My mom was a math teacher. She's probably dying right now that
Oh, no.
that I can't do that math
Well,
in my
so
head on the
Where's
fly.
Sunny when we need her?
I know.
Sunny, text us and tell us. 5 races in 2 days. You've got the kids and the
Yep.
5K tomorrow, and then the relay, the full, and the half.
Yep.
One of the things people love is hearing their names called, and you're the best at it. You're the
Yes.
best race announcer.
Thank you very much. It's again, it's the emotion, the passion, the cause here. We run to remember, and there's so much human emotion coming across, and especially for all the runners who are going along and they're seeing 168 names
Right.
of the people who passed in the horrible bombings in 1995, and that emotion is just so prolific. It's so amazing at the finish line. And so if I can give a little extra energy to somebody by saying their name at the finish, then I'm pretty excited too.
Yeah. And your energy throughout the entire race is pretty amazing. I mean, it's basically like you have to run a marathon to keep that energy up for hours.
Well, again, thank you. I'll try. It's a lot of good coffee and staying hydrated, I think. But again, the energy and I love the passion and I love the sport of running. And so, I was a runner for quite some time, quite a while ago. But it's just great to have that human spirit.
You got your Memorial Marathon gear on.
Yep.
I'm watching Kristin's husband, Eric, who's the CFO and our board treasurer, manage his 3 children over there trying to buy gear, and I think he's doing some negotiation. So I can't quit watching that because it's hilarious.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But there's some great gear here, and you're going to wear it all weekend. You're kind of our male model. And what's your favorite thing about the Expo?
Well, the Expo, it's vibrant. I mean, look at this. I've got my mask in my pocket, but there are no masks at the Expo, and I think that's a great thing.
Yep.
Everybody take care of yourselves. Stay healthy, be cautious, I think. But we are alive again here in Oklahoma City. You can feel it. I walked in about an hour ago. I did a loop of the Expo. You can't go far without bumping into somebody that you've seen at races. I can't remember their names or something, but they're like, hey, how you doing? Welcome back. And so it's family. It's Oklahoman hospitality coming right into it. We're up and pumping and ready to go for number 22.
It's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 22. I mean, we are literally just a few hours away from doing the first race in the morning, the 5K. It's amazing the Why We Run series is packed, which means you run the 5K and then the half or the full the next day.
My husband's doing that.
He's doing both?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
5K and a half.
And Lottie's running the 5K?
Lottie's running the 5K. My daughter's
I'm going to be in the lead
full.
car, Lottie, so if you get lost, I'll be with you.
It's a family affair.
It really is.
I need to
All
get
the fairs are
my
good.
son in that. Well,
Dave?
not David. David's not much of a runner,
we
but
gotta
that's
work on
maybe
that.
someday.
Yeah. Anyway, we're very excited. 5K. And then the Oklahoma Standard Medal, if you run the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon or half, or if you run the Tulsa half or full, you get this great Oklahoma Standard Medal. So we're very excited about that as well. So, Whit, I know you've got work to do, but thank you for stopping
Thanks for
in.
stopping by.
Thank
and
you.
saying hi.
Thanks for having me. Let's look forward to a great 22nd year of our Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon, and all the athletes out there, we can't wait for another great party.
That's awesome. Thanks so much. We're
Thank you,
looking
guys.
forward to seeing you in the morning.
Thank you.
Thanks, Whit.
So one of the best parts of the race that we hear time and time again is about Gorilla Hill,
Yes.
which is about 40th and Chartel.
Correct.
The chief gorilla is arriving on the set.
Steve Cole is
Steve Cole.
walking in.
Steve Cole is here. The gorilla is up. I watched it go up on Easter Sunday. You had no mercy for your children. You made them work on Easter.
I've got something for you, the official
look.
Gorilla Hill
Oh, wow.
hat.
How fun is that? We're going to need this weekend.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
It'll keep your hair from blowing away.
Yeah. Something-
And even if you don't
even
have
your
hair,
hair.
even if you don't have hair,
Even your hair will keep them going.
This one, people can see us on this one, so they know you don't have hair now.
Yeah, before we were just
Before,
doing.
yep.
Yeah, this is.
Okay, so Steve, here's the question I have for you, because we're starting to get a little banter that the Lakeshore neighborhood is going to really put up a
Awesome.
good
Good.
fight on.
good. I can't wait to see it.
On
That
Gorilla
is
Hill.
Good. No, I'm bring it and bring it up and bring us up. That
Yes.
is awesome. I love that.
So tell people what they're going to expect at Gorilla Hill in 2022.
Gorilla Hill is so we're going to have the big gorilla up. We're going to have the 15,000 runners from all over the world coming up that hill, and there's going to be 30 people in banana suits going nuts. And we're going to have the marathon clangers going out there, and we will have a full, vibrant crowd, and people from the neighborhood and the community come out on both sides of Chartel and participate. It'll be fun. There'll be dogs, dogs
Yeah.
on leashes.
Is Jana ready for this weekend?
Jana will be ready.
Okay.
Knock on wood.
Okay, good.
The only game time decision is whether the weather's going to allow us to put that arch up.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
I love the arch. It's like I think I just
It
love
may
it.
have to wait and go up early Sunday morning.
It may have to go up early. It's just a wind thing.
Yeah.
We don't
We'll
want to.
keep you posted on that.
Yeah, it'll be a
Right.
game time call. But
Steve, I have a cousin who is in town from Colorado, and he's never been here for an Oklahoma City Marathon before. And I was trying to explain to him Gorilla Hill, and I told him that you have this gorilla from a car lot in your yard, and he just was like, what?
Yeah. Well, it's big. And,
Has he been to your brother's house yet to see him?
I don't think he's been there since they set it up.
Okay.
But yeah, he's going to tomorrow night,
Okay.
so he'll experience. I was like, you don't understand how big it is.
Yeah, until you come by and see it, it is ginormous. It's like bigger than the house.
Yes.
But yeah, people need to come by and take a picture with it. It's up. If it's not too windy, it's up right now. And it's a fun place to come take a picture in
And
front
you
of.
painted your house yellow.
Painted the house yellow to look like a banana.
I mean, this guy's serious.
He is in it to win it.
I am.
He is in it to win it. That's right.
I am a marathon super fan. I just, this really is, and I've said this and believe it, it's the coolest event by far in Oklahoma, but in the country. It is,
Right.
it's major league city event like no other, and it has a purpose like no other. So, I can get a little choked up, just,
I
if we
can
get
too.
into that,
Yeah.
but it is the best. So really, if you're anybody nearby, come and hang out with us and participate.
Yeah,
It's fun.
and Gorilla Hill's a great place to watch.
It is great. In fact, I've been meeting people today here at the Expo from literally all over the country. I haven't met any people from out of the U.S. yet, but I'm sure they're here.
Uh-huh.
But New Jersey, Arkansas, on and on. And yeah, and I tell the family, come to the area of 40th and Chartel and cheer your family on or your friends. It's a great spot. We'll have a coffee truck out there.
Oh, fun.
And that's for the volunteers and the fans and the runners if they need coffee, at mile 7. So, and we'll have some.
I always look forward to your spot on the race.
It'll be fun. It is. We have a blast.
That's so good. Well, thank you so much for
thanks, Steve.
all you guys do, and we appreciate it.
And
we'll-
stop by and see Steve at the expo
Yeah,
and pick up
yeah.
the new Gorilla Hill
Yeah,
gear.
yeah. The pro. So we sell this
You got
stuff
the
to raise
t-shirts
money
and-
for the memorial. And I think as of about now, we've raised over $125,000
I was going to bring that up.
for the
It's
memorial.
really
so-
remarkable what you've been able to
so-
raise and help us do.
Well, we're happy. It's our pleasure and our fun, and thank you guys.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Steve.
Kari. All right.
Thank
see
you.
Thank you.
We'll see you the next couple of days, and we'll
yeah.
keep you with the wind, keep you updated with the wind
Awesome.
forecast.
Okay.
We're going
Thanks.
to wish the
Okay.
wind away.
So one of the things that we get to do around here is meet some of the best runners and people from all over the country. A few months ago, I went to a running conference in Orlando, and I had the real complete honor of meeting a guy named Marco Cizzetto, who is here, just finished running Boston on
Boston.
Monday, won the para. I mean, it's remarkable. Marco,
Yes,
you're in the
amazing.
house.
Marco, I watched your ending in Boston. It was absolutely amazing. Congratulations. We're glad to have
You
you here
good?
today.
These stools are a little dangerous. How are you
There
doing,
we go.
Marco?
I'm doing good. I was struggling to sit down. I can run, but looks like I struggle to sit down.
Well, that's
hey.
okay. We're glad you're here.
We're so excited you're here. You've got your kids, your wife, everyone's running. You're running the kids' race in the morning.
Yes, and thank you so much for having me and my family here. Yes, I am having everyone run because for a long time I have tried to encourage my kids to run, and they always have an excuse that I have not been able to get them out of that excuse. They say, "We don't have running legs like you."
Okay, well maybe they don't, but they've got other kinds, right? You're
Yes,
gonna run.
I am trying to tell them the one that you have is the legit one for running.
So tell us just your story, Marco, and
Yeah,
how you
I'd
got
love to
here
hear
and how you continue to overcome adversity to just get to the finish line.
Originally from Kenya, 2008, I went to University of Alaska Anchorage on athletic scholarship. 2011, I lost a cousin to suicide. And, that threw me into a major depression. And I went, through that period, I struggled a lot, went for a run, and I passed out in my run in Alaska, November.
Very cold.
Very cold. And 60 hours later, I emerged from wherever I was stuck at.
Wow.
And they decided, my feet were frozen and they couldn't save them. So they were both amputated below the knee. After the amputation, I kind of had to ask myself if I would let that event define who I am and going to be, or I was going to just learn to be my new self and do my thing, which is running, and I chose to do running, and here I am. Ran a marathon on Monday, the Boston Marathon. The second year they are doing the para category, which was awesome.
Right.
Did it not in my PR, because my PR was last year in New York, 2:35:55.
Can you believe that?
Unbelievable.
But on Monday I ran a 2:37:01.
So you're slowing down is what you're saying.
I would say maybe that Monday, yes, I did slow down a little, but
I'm just teasing
you
you.
know,
I'm giving you a hard time.
No, but the other thing too is, I just realized if I keep breaking these records, maybe I will run out of breaking records. So I said, okay, let me just take a break from this, and then the next one, yes, I'm going to.
Yes. Yep.
What does it take for you to run, Marco? I mean, like, first of all, I'm not a runner. Kristin is, but like, you of all people should motivate me. But what does it take for you to get up and run every day?
You know, the idea that if we all keep trying, doing something that we think we are not good at, doing it over and over and over, it gets easier. And running is one of the simplest ways of explaining something hard and training for something hard until it seemingly becomes easier. And that comes from your mind. It's what you tell yourself. Running, there is nothing outside you that can encourage you to run. It's all in you. It comes from the inside. And then the outside stuff are just the motivational part of it. But the determination, the courage, the grit comes from the inside.
Well, and just we wanted you to bring your family because this is a family weekend and a family race, and you've got how many kids?
I have 3 kids and 4. So one is an exchange student from Italy.
Okay. And 3 of your own, and so everyone's running tomorrow morning.
Yes, everyone is running tomorrow morning. There is no
excuses.
No
tomorrow.
excuses, no option. I tell them, you guys have your feet anyway. So, if anything, I should be the one who should have an excuse.
Well, that might get their attention.
So are they running the 5K or are they doing the kids?
The kids,
The kids.
and then the 5K.
Okay.
So they're doing their own series.
They are. They made their own.
No rest for Marco's kids.
Nope.
No, there is no rest. And you know, I'm out there. I have a booth where I am signing these posters. If people want to come along, and
Yes.
and then I have this running journal. This would even motivate these runners to, self accountability. Like, I have this journal that's for free, and if I don't do anything about it, like, really. So this
Right.
would motivate people to
Yes.
train every day, because if you don't run, what are you going to record on this journal? But I am encouraging people to get this, because once you have this, if you skip a day, it's going to make you feel bad about yourself, and this is going to hold some people accountable.
You like those journals?
I like them because when you have them, you have to write something in them. But then if you don't stick to your training plan, what are you going to write on it? So this will hold people accountable.
Well, Marco, thanks for bringing that up, because we do need
That's a
to
good
remind
point.
people that you can stop by the Legends booth and get a journal that.
Or a poster from the race.
Or a
Show them the poster,
poster,
Marco.
yep.
Oh yeah,
That's
that-
a great
Poster
poster.
Yeah.
Marco will sign it. Dick
Marco's
Beardsley
over
back
there.
there.
Uh-huh.
Dick may be on in a minute.
Yes.
Anyway, there's some great legends back there. John Benoit Samuelson's coming in at some point after lunch, I think. And so there's some great folks. Witt will be back there. I mean, we've got the greatest lineup of
We
some
do.
great legends.
Yep.
Marco, thanks for coming to
Thank
Oklahoma.
you for stopping
Oh
by
yeah,
and
I
joining
know,
us
and
today.
I think I should get out of here. I'm seeing my kids. I think my family is in front of you here.
Good.
Oh,
Hi,
there you
guys.
are. Oh,
Welcome.
welcome to OKC.
Yeah.
Glad to have you
All right,
here.
easy going on the stool.
Yes, I will not fall down.
Okay.
Do
thanks
not
for-
fall down.
Yep.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Marco. Madeline's going to come join us.
Looks like we have
Madeline,
Madeline Fairs in the house for a minute.
Madeline's,
Oh, okay.
you're going over here by me? You don't want to be by your mom anymore? Has training been that
She's
hard?
had enough to. We've spent enough time together
Some of
over
that
the
I
last
should
few
get on.
months.
How are you? How's it
I'm
going?
doing well. How are you?
Good. Are you ready to go?
Yes, I'm super ready, super excited.
And you think you're going to carry your mom?
She
Carry
is.
her along the course? Like
Yeah.
keep her pace up?
I mean, we'll see. We'll see how both of us are feeling on Sunday.
you
yeah.
guys are going to be great.
It's going to be good. And you know, Kari, this is I'm not going into race weekend the way I thought I would be going into it. I'm a little bit banged up, and that's a little bit sad, and it's a little disappointing, but it's life. it happens, and I get to experience disappointments in life, and that's okay. There's
Great
highs.
lessons
There's
for us to teach our kids.
There's highs and lows, but at the end of the day, Madeline and I are still going to have a great day, and we have had a great experience together.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been awesome. I wouldn't trade training for the world.
Now you're going to make me cry.
For you guys
Please
to
do
have
not.
that time together is really awesome. You guys have been a great example for lots of moms and daughters and dads and sons, and just being willing to get out and try it, I think says so much about you guys, and I'm really proud of both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it means so much to get to do this with her.
What would you do to bring your friends along next time?
I don't know. Maybe just like bribe them or something. Well, I have a few friends running the half.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
great.
And you've got some friends in a relay.
Oh yeah, I have a friend in a relay. I
Uh-huh.
think I have 2 or 3 friends running the half.
Uh-huh.
So it's mostly like my cross country friends that I can get to do it.
Yeah.
It's everyone else that's a little
And
harder.
I think when people see you out there, that they'll have some fun and say, oh, I can do that next year. And whether it's the 5K, the relay, the half, the full, whatever distance you want to conquer, that I do think you've been kind of a great leader in getting some young people out there and that I can do it.
Yeah, I think after seeing me run, they'll see like how much fun it is.
Yes.
And they'll want to do it too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Madeline, for being here, and we're looking forward to seeing you at the
I know,
finish line.
Thank
the
you.
start line
I'm
and the finish
excited.
line. We're
Yeah.
proud of you.
You're going to do great work.
Yep.
Thank
Good
you
job,
so
Madeline.
much. I tell you, it's been a crazy day here. We're very, very excited about just everybody's in the house. John Sherrick is here. John, come on with us. And John's with the American Legion Post 353. He's doing the 5K tomorrow.
Okay.
John, I just heard you were a very generous donation, and you're running the 5K. You guys worked it in 1995. You're a volunteer in 1995.
Yes,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you so much for stepping up to be kind.
Well, I donated $1,000 to the museum and donated $1,000 to the memorial. And the main reason why I did that is April 28th of last year, I lost my wife of 25 years due to congestive heart failure. So, and me and a lot of my friends were walking the 5K tomorrow, my post members. So I just wanted to come in and do a good deed since I've been blessed personally. Even though it's been rough, I have been blessed, so I just wanted to kind of give back.
That's so nice. So what excites you about the 5K?
The 5K, because it's a 5K, you see this figure? This figure does not do the marathon.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
I'm with you.
I like
I
to
don't even
eat
do
too
the
much.
5K.
5K is great.
You get to eat more if you do the full marathon.
Well, I probably would, but I would probably be eating it on a gurney.
Well, we're so grateful that you're doing the 5K. You're doing it with some of your Legion.
Yes, American Legion Post 353. Actually, in 2017 and 2018, I think there's 388 posts in the state of Oklahoma, and Mustang Post 353, we actually took Post of the Year. We're the most active post. We are honor guard. We go anywhere in the state for free to render honors for a fallen veteran, to do a flag
wow.
presentation, or even a parade.
That's amazing.
Because they've earned it.
Well, I went to Girl State, so I know a little bit about American Legion, but I'm very grateful for your service and for all you guys have done, and just for what you continue to give back. You really are the kind of the lifeblood of Oklahoma, of just service and honor and kindness, and what that means in every community. And I thank you for what
That's
the
what we
Legion
do.
does.
That's what we do. We're Oklahomans, right? We give back.
Oklahoma
That's right.
Standard.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
being
you.
on with
Thanks
us,
for
John.
joining us.
Thanks,
You have a
John,
good
for
day.
your
Thanks.
generosity, and we'll look forward to seeing you more at the finish line.
Yes.
Well, we've had a busy week. We started the week on Tuesday, and Chris, come on. We're going to get Pastor Chris here
Oh,
from
good.
First Church.
Yes.
We started the week, well, Easter was Sunday and Passover, but Easter's a busy week for churches around. First Church is our neighbor and has been our really great partner for 27 years. And Mary from my team called Chris and his team about 8 or 8:30 on Monday morning and said, we think we're moving inside. They're supposed to have the day off. They'd had a very busy Easter week. And within an hour, maybe 30 minutes, Pastor Chris and his team the doors were unlocked and said, it's all yours. You were there late for Natalie Grant's sound check. You were there early for the bomb suite. I just wanted to say thank you.
It's no problem at all. I mean, it's a joy. That's a part of the fun of getting to be neighbors and a part of kind of redeeming this
Well, everybody loves it so much. We may have to be in there every year. We'll see.
I thought it was absolutely beautiful.
That'd be great. The service was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved
Good.
the service. You guys did a great job
And
with that.
this is your second marathon?
Yeah, only because it was 6 months ago. I
Right.
haven't been pastor here a year
Right.
yet.
So it was your first anniversary to be a part of in April?
pretty much,
Yeah.
except it was just 6 months instead of a year.
Right.
But yeah.
Right.
But I mean, April 19th, that was your first, was that your first anniversary, April 19th?
The first ceremony.
First
Oh, the first ceremony that I've done? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the most meaningful part of the things we do, and we're really proud of that. And First Church has been, when they were rebuilding back, and we were building the memorial. Nick Harris was the pastor, and Nick said, "Don't build an auditorium in your museum. You can always use our space." I don't know if he or his successors ever realized it would be as many times as we've asked, but they've never said no, and I'm really thankful.
Right. And then tell me just kind of about your involvement in the marathon, the church's involvement. I
Well,
know
are you starting to smell pancakes?
Well, I am. That's why I was wondering.
There's pancakes everywhere around here.
I know.
That's the big thing the church is known for on Marathon Day is doing pancakes. It's another early morning, 3:30. We start rolling in and cooking pancakes and sausage for any and everybody. And they've been doing that, I think, since about the second or third year that you started the marathon was when, I don't know if it was Pastor Nick or who it was that said, man, we could be doing more here. And so it's just a big part of the story of who we are at First Church and the way that we can continue to serve and help out. I mean, it's a crazy awesome event.
And how do you get people involved? I'm pretty sure I know the answer is that they see it's the marathon and they just show up to help because
Pretty
what we do
Pretty
as
much
Oklahomans.
Everybody wants to be
Yeah.
involved, and so it's not hard between church members, and just as long as we've been doing it, everybody kind of knows about it, and so people hop in left and right to help accomplish that. It's pretty awesome.
And you do the blessing of the shoes Saturday night. Tell us your weekend schedule. Do you know it?
It's all, it just kind of bleeds over after Easter this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the big stuff is we're here at the Expo today and tomorrow, handing out pancakes and invitations to the service and the pancake breakfast, and then on Saturday evening at 6:30, we'll have a blessing of the shoes service in the sanctuary there, and that kind of concludes with a song outside on the front steps facing the memorial, which is pretty cool. And then we'll turn around a couple hours later, about 3:30, start cooking. At 5:30, the doors open for pancakes and sausage and all that kind of good stuff.
And then you do the sunrise service under the survivor tree.
And the sunrise
You do
service
that?
at 5:30. Yep, do that as well.
Wow.
So there's a lot going on.
there is a lot
First
going on.
Church people are very important, and they just are so generous to give back and back and back. But people love the sunrise service, and they love the encouragement and the music and just being there and time of quiet
and
preparing.
they love the pancakes.
And they love the pancakes.
Runners love food.
So what are you looking forward to this weekend? What you've lived through one marathon as we came out of COVID. Now what are you excited about?
Well, I think that the fun thing is last year, right, it was coming out of COVID. It was my first, which was great for me because I got to pace it a little bit.
Right.
This year, it's kind of the sprint after Easter. And so for us, we keep talking about, right, the Easter story and the disciples and Mary figure out what happens and they go running. And so we finished Easter and we went running. And it just happened to be
that's a good
marathon
analogy.
running.
That
and,
is a good analogy.
and so there's excitement in it. There's excitement about relationship, about being a part of the story and talking about what God's up to in and through it this weekend. So it's a great thing.
Well, you guys have found a way to minister out of a very messy, hard situation. And I think when I look back at kind of that site being surrounded by churches, it's pretty remarkable. That people may not know this, but where the memorial now stands was once a Catholic school. My grandfather went to Catholic school there.
Oh, really?
It then became the first home to St. Anthony's before they moved a few blocks north. They sold it to the federal government, but the Catholic church is on the west. Your church is on the east. St. Paul's is on the just north of block. And so we have a lot of love, but there's nothing like the First Church love. And I just thank you guys I just want to say publicly, thank you for everything you did to make Tuesday happen. Because if Tuesday doesn't work right, none of this matters. I mean, we got to take time to remember and read those names and make that a very special time. And so I just want to say thank you very much.
Well, I mean, we appreciate it. We appreciate being part of it. And I want to say thank you because I'm an Oklahoma City growing up boy. And so
Oh, you are? I didn't know that.
I remember, and I have my own images and my own stories, and to be able now to be the pastor and walk, right out my front door and to see everything that the memorial is and to be a part of Marathon Weekend is just a beautiful thing. So I appreciate all the work you all do because I know that it's year-round work, and I don't know that there's ever a time where you're not sprinting from one thing to another, and so we appreciate all the work you guys are doing.
So you grew up here and now you're back home.
And now I'm back home, that's right.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Pastor Chris, and just can't say thank you enough, and we appreciate it. We'll look forward to some more pancakes, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the sunrise service.
Sounds great. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think Mark Bravo is going to join us real quick.
Oh.
Mark can give us a quick update. Sorry, I'm just. Come on in, Camille.
Hi, Mark. How's it going?
You can bring her in too. Whoa, Camille, you want to come in?
It's going great.
These stills are a little dangerous.
I know.
Oh, it's more like me. This is my favorite weekend of the year, as I think for a lot of us, and I'm just honored, and we're out together again, and 6.5 months later, I might say, pretty close to unprecedented. I know Boston did it, but to be able to pull it off, these volunteers, your team, and the stars of the weekend, the athletes.
You know, this morning I was taking my moke in, and I started at the start line at the memorial and finished here at the finish line. And I looked at the vendors and the volunteers. As I looked at those, I almost got choked up just thinking about how many people it takes to pull this race off.
Yes.
And then for the runners, like you guys who are running, it's remarkable. Camille Taylor's here. She joins us. She's running the weekend series,
Yes.
5K and the half marathon. Tell us your
Big
story
time.
real quick.
Well, I actually haven't run in a couple years,
You
but
got a little baby over there in the stroller.
I do.
Is that the excuse?
And the pandemic, yes.
Yeah.
He was born in May 2020.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So, but
Is he
before
sleeping
that,
through this?
yes.
So
Yeah.
cute.
Before that, I did a lot of halves, and actually, I was 8 weeks pregnant with him when I ran the Chicago Marathon.
Oh, you did.
That was the last thing I did before everything shut down. But this race is the one that I try to always do every year.
Are you
whenever it
from
comes
here?
around. I'm from Oklahoma.
Okay.
So the bombing happened when I was 4 years old. I didn't personally lose anyone in it, but I have many friends who had someone close, many times like a parent, that actually did die in the bombing. And every time that the 19th comes around at 9:02, it seems like I always look at a clock whenever it's that time, and I sit and I think about what happened on, back then on April 19th, 1995, and it reaffirms me every year to always do this race,
Right.
whether it's the 5K, if I feel like doing the marathon, but I'm always going to at least do one.
That's really remarkable.
And you're doing both this year,
I'm doing
right?
5K and
5K and a half.
Wow.
What made you decide to do that?
Well, I work for Paycom, and they're one of the sponsors for this, and so I was just like, okay, I'll do it. I view the 5K as sort of a shakeout run. I'm
Yes.
going to take it easy, get ready for the half.
Well, Paycom's an incredible sponsor and a great employer in Oklahoma City. That's great. I'm glad you're on here. But I have to say, just a shout out to Paycom, because when we shut down the memorial in March of 2020, which was scary, and you got a lot of employees who are counting on you. I got a call from Chad Richardson who said, "Do the right thing, and I'll make you whole again." And we did the right thing, and Chad was very generous and made us whole again. And so I know that kind of exudes over to his employees, and just what you guys are taught to represent and what you do represent. We're really so grateful that you're willing to step up and run the 5K and the half. It's a very great story, and the fact you're coming out of COVID is it's a story like so many other people.
It is. I mean, it's a very common story of a lot of runners. Camille, what's your favorite part of the OKC course?
Oh, so I love the crowd participation so much. Everyone is so into this, but I really love Gorilla Hill. It's so
You
unique
gotta go
to
see
this
the
race.
Chief Gorilla over there.
Yes. Have you been by the Gorilla Hill booth?
No, I
gotta
have
go
to
see
now.
it.
Yes. You need to stop by.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Dodging the banana peels.
Yeah.
That's the best.
So that's Steve Cole. He was just on here, but Steve's like the creator of Gorilla Hill, and he's a lawyer by day and a gorilla by night, and it's a great story.
Oh, I should have worn my Gorilla Hill shirt today.
Yeah,
I got one
you'll
when
have
it
to
came out
tell
a couple
me
years
about
ago.
it. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Yes,
He's
I
got a
did.
great new shirt this year too.
They do. They've got some new gear this year. So
I'm totally getting one.
Be
Yeah.
sure to stop by.
Yeah. Well, Camille, thanks so much for running and being willing to run both days, and we're just really grateful. And I think you represent so many people, Oklahomans, who are just willing to just jump out there and get involved. And you're just thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thanks.
I love it.
We'll see you at the finish line.
Yes.
Thank you.
Have
Thanks.
a fun weekend.
Thank you. You too.
I
Bye.
look for you.
Mark, what are you thinking, Nate? What do you see out there?
I'll tell you what Camille brought up. Everybody, it strikes me, is so grateful to be a part of this race. They feel a part of it. They may be on Walker Avenue cheering. They may be at Edgemere Park, all the way to a couple, Vern and Judy Young, whom I went to. Vern was a dorm buddy. Vern lives in Florida. He was in St. Louis 30 years. He never misses this race. He is an Oklahoman, and he and another dorm buddy of mine come from around the country. Now it's 15 years, and about as we were turning 60 a few years before, they were on the course, and I think they had lost their lucidity because they said, they did the half every year. When we're 60, let's do the full.
Oh, wow.
And they were, for a while, dreading that thought, but it's a memory they'll always keep. Vern's not doing the half this year, nor is Charles, but they're here, Vern and Judy. They're all doing the 5K, and this race means something to everybody. And a woman came up to me this morning, and I didn't happen to know her, but she said, I thank you, when I should be thanking everybody for what you do. Turns out, the mother of Susan Farrell, one who was lost, she didn't know, she wouldn't. Susan was a friend of mine because Susan lived, and the parents still have their home on 33rd, just off of Robinson. And I spent my life running from downtown here to Edgemere Park. I grew up Crown Heights and back, and so knew her and a lot of runners who lived there. So the stories abound, and what has become from Modest means such an event. We say it every year. It's much more than a race, and it exudes pride from all of us.
Well, we're really glad. Mark, you help us all year long, and you kind of keep our pulse on the running community. We're really grateful for all your help, and thank you for being with us. And you go to travel shows at the other marathons with us, and you're kind of a legend in your own right. People come to you, and they want to meet you and read your great book, which you're always so generous to give us a portion of.
Did she say in my own mind? She's got something.
No, I didn't say that. Anyway, you're really great, Mark, and thank you so much for just stepping up and helping us, and just really being so grateful to bring runners along. You're such a great encourager of all of us. I mean, the hardest days, I usually get a text from Mark saying, hang in there today, athlete, you're going to do this. And the morning of April 19th, I got a great text. I'm just really appreciate all that you do for the Memorial Marathon.
It is my honor, and I thank everybody for allowing this to come off and me to be a little part. And Kristin, Sunday, full marathon.
Full marathon. First full.
First full,
She's
knock
run a lot
'em
of
dead.
halves.
Yes, she has, and she's brought us along these podcasts. I've gotten a lot of comments through
Hasn't she
the
done a
weeks
remarkable
and months.
job?
Tremendous. It's a bright light that you lend
I had
us.
to twist her arm, but once she did it, she loved it.
I have left it. It's been fun.
You don't have to twist many arms
I
with your
know.
request.
You don't say no to Kari Watkins.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Thank you, folks.
Mark,
I'll see
thank you for
athletes.
everything.
And
you'll be on Channel 4 Sunday.
You bet.
And you'll be at the finish line helping with some. You're kind of everywhere on Sunday.
I'm afraid you got me till the end of this thing, whether you want me or not.
That's the best news we've heard all day.
Mark is here to stay.
Thanks, folks.
Thanks, Mark. We'll see you
Got
Sunday.
it. All right.
Hey, Kristin, I want you to meet a good friend of mine who's been with us every step of the way, a survivor named Richard Williams.
Yes, Richard, welcome.
Who started part of this process with the memorial process in 1995. I think he has served on almost every committee that we've had, and he has been, these stools are awesome, aren't they? But Richard has been a great support, and he and his wife Lynn are here. They now live outside of Houston, and I'm not sure how we ever lost him to Texas, but I'd like to bring him back. But anyway, he's back. He did a tour this morning at the museum. How'd that go? I haven't seen you.
Oh, did you do the eyewitness tour?
He did.
Yes, okay, good.
We had 8 people, which is a great size
to
be able to share. My brother, who had never been to the museum, was there.
Wow.
Pretty awesome, yeah.
It takes people some time, doesn't it? I mean,
it does.
Not everybody wants to just run through the door.
Exactly.
So what do you think? Did he approve of your work?
He hadn't said yet.
Okay, well, I know he did. So let me tell you, Kristin, the story. We had what I called Wednesday night prayer group because Wednesday night was the night we could meet. And Richard and Janine Gist, who passed away this year, and Ed Hill, who's a policeman, and the fire chief, Gary Mars, and Sue Hale was the editor of the Oklahoman, would come and meet with Hardy and I and Jane Thomas, our curator,
and
Bob and Karen Luke, Bob Johnson, Karen Luke, Cheryl Vaught. We'd meet every Wednesday night. We thought it would take us 3 or 4 weeks, maybe a month to do the museum. I think it was 7 months, 8 months. It was one of the hardest, most grueling things we ever did, but really one of the most powerful. And Richard was such a part of that story. And Richard's still on my speed dial, so when I have questions or hard times, I dial him up, and we walk through whatever the challenge is. But Richard's got a great story. Tell us a little bit about what happened to you on April 19th.
I was in my office on the first floor on the west end, had just come out of the meeting with the clerk of court from the district courts, and standing there talking to my planner estimator. It's the last thing I remember. So I've been able over the last 27 years to piece together my story, what happened to me, where I was, how I got out. I was dug out and carried out of the building by an Oklahoma City policeman, my hero, and taken to the hospital. My planner estimator, Tom, and I were taken to University Hospital because St. Anthony's was full already.
Which is OU Health today.
OU Health, and
Yep.
that was at 9:35. So
Wow,
for
you got there
us to
quick.
talk about these first responders absolutely is amazing when you consider how quickly they got there and how many of us were our lives. They saved our lives.
So you were in the hospital by 9:35.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
And I got emergency care in labor and delivery.
There's something funny about that, Richard.
There is.
As two women, we're kind of enjoying this right now.
I got a card from them a month later hailing me as their first male patient.
That's a great story. I'd actually forgotten that. But I see your wife, Lynn, she's still laughing about it 27 years
Oh,
later.
yeah. She
Karma's
hasn't gotten
fun,
over
isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. What was amazing, though, was the fact that these people who were so used to giving life, and now they were having to try to save it, and it was difficult for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of read that into the card that they sent. It was kind of neat.
Well, OU Health is a sponsor of this expo, and Jennifer Schultz, their executive vice president, was here this morning to open the expo, and she talked about the connection, the deep connection that OU has with this story because of all those first-line workers, frontline doctors, nurses, IMSA, I mean, everybody who stepped up and got people to where they needed to be. And 27 years later, that's still a strong story, and it's amazing that OU is such a part of your story there.
Well, and to even consider what they've gone through in the last 2 years, too, on
Right.
top of that. But they're literally miracle workers. They really are. I know they
Well,
saved me.
They saved you, which is we're really glad for so many reasons. But I mean, I got to know Richard. There's a story I just want to tell you. So I got a copy of the Sound of the Bomb. This is how stupid I was. But I got the cassette tape. That's how long ago it was of the Sound of the Bomb, and I listened to it in my car on the way out to this archives meeting at a building that GSA, which is where Richard worked, had helped us set up shop for putting the artifacts. And I listened to this tape like it was, I don't know, but I had no idea what I was about to hear. And it kind of knocked me over. It got my attention. And I went into this meeting, and I'm like, Richard, have you heard this? Not thinking at all really the power of what it would do to a survivor. But Richard handled it really well, but I learned some really valuable lessons that day. And Richard's always been graceful and kind as he's brought me along the last 27 years, I'll say.
It's the other way around. Trust me.
No, it really isn't. But I'm really just so grateful that people have been so forgiving to me when I've done stupid things like that, because I cringe just thinking that I just said, here, listen to this tape.
You're talking about the temporary exhibit that we were putting together, right, in the garage.
And how hard that was.
I'll never forget
you
that.
just were such a great sport, and I'm sure he was thinking, does this woman have any idea that I've lived through this? I don't want to live through it again. But he handled it with incredible grace, as he has everything. He's been on mission statement committee, the survivor committee, trying to define what a survivor is. I mean, that's not just a given.
That took 8 months.
Yep, 8 months.
8 months to define, for the purpose of the memorial, who got their name on the wall, who got their story told in the museum, and it was very difficult. It really was. And that's why we wrote in the mission statement, change forever. We wanted to make sure that no one got left out.
Right.
So if they were changed forever, they still were a survivor in a way, as everyone is, and their stories were told in the museum. That was tough.
Yeah. So Richard has been through it, and the Memorial Museum are what they are today because of Richard, and a lot of people like Richard. But that is their story. They are the storytellers, and I think you see why they have such a special story. So you guys are running and walking tomorrow?
We're going to do the walk in the morning, yes.
And grandkids coming, or?
Nope.
No?
They,
you and Lynn?
They have soccer.
Okay.
3-year-old soccer.
Yeah.
Oh.
That took priority yesterday.
I can read through
we've
that.
got to walk and get back for the soccer game if we can.
Walk fast.
And then we'll probably head back probably Monday.
Okay.
If the wind slows down.
Do you come most years for the race?
We've only missed 2.
Yeah.
One of them, Lynn had a heart attack.
Right.
Sorry about your mom.
That's all right.
And the other one was COVID. Other than that, we've never missed.
yeah.
We
Never
said
missed
we'd
a
never
race.
miss.
Yeah.
So we try to
That's
come
true.
back.
That's what you said when you guys left town.
Yep.
So pick up a runner's journal over at the Running Legends. You go by and meet those guys. There's a guy named Marco Chizzetta who is a double amputee who's running, and he just won Boston on Monday.
Oh my
Boston,
gosh.
the Boston Marathon. and he's got a great story. But there's some great stories over there. But I want them to meet you because I know they would love to say hi to you.
I'll do that.
And Kari, since we are talking about the museum, can you tell people with your bib you get free admission to the museum? Is that correct?
You can show them your bib, or it's in also in your virtual race bag. But either way, you should show them you get free admission, and I think that's good to the end of the year. But go see it this weekend if you need motivation. The story's strong.
Mm-hmm.
It's a powerful story. It's a museum made for all ages. There's interactives, there's artifacts, there's videos. There's a way to learn the story. It's a lot of kids were in it this morning, and this afternoon
my
it'll
daughter
open.
was in it this morning.
Yeah, I want to talk to Lottie about it. But I really do think it's a great place to spend a couple hours of your weekend and just see.
Why we run.
Remember why we run.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's right.
I mean,
A couple that went on the tour this morning, I saw them on the way in a while ago, and I asked them if they went back through again and spent the time to look, read, and study everything. They said they absolutely were just overwhelmed. So it's a powerful place. It always will be.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, Richard, thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
We're really
Appreciate
great
it.
to have you, and we'll see you at the finish line tomorrow
You bet.
morning.
All right. Thank you.
Well, one of the things about the marathon is it pulls people in from all over the country, and I think we have 47 states represented. One state that's not is Delaware. They've got a huge marathon tomorrow.
Oh, do they?
They do, yeah.
Okay.
So we're giving up on the Delaware folks for right now. Maybe the president will come run next year. I don't know, but we're glad to have Landon Shores from Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
You're running the full.
Yes, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You bet.
We're glad to have you here. So,
Thank you
Landon,
so much.
what brought you here?
Well, my younger sister lives here, and my entire family is out here right now, so I thought it'd be an awesome opportunity to see them and check one off my list that I haven't done yet.
Okay,
so
so
I'm
this
super
is
excited.
new. This is you're a first timer.
Yep, this is my very first time running the marathon.
So when did you decide you were going to run this race?
About, I would say, 4 months ago.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you're trained.
So it's all planned and ready to go?
Yeah, so it's going to be a really tight schedule because I'm running the Vancouver Marathon next Sunday. So that's going to be
wow.
the 50th anniversary, so I'm really excited
that'll
about
be
that
a great
one.
race.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of people ran Boston on Monday. We'll be running this weekend, but it's about the same kind of turnaround. You got to take
Yeah.
care of your legs as soon as you're done
Exactly.
on Sunday.
So you feel like you're an 85-year-old man for about a week, and just when you can start to walk again, then
You
you,
go do
got
it
to run the
again.
next
Turn around
one.
and do it all over
Exactly.
again.
So there's no
That's been-
training in between.
Kari always chimes in that we're all crazy. All of us runners are just a little
You're a
bit
little
crazy.
different.
Yeah.
You're a little different.
We're a
We
different
beat to
breed.
our own drums. Now let me ask you a question. Have you trained any in some wind?
I have trained in wind. I live in Las Vegas, which is a very windy city.
a windy city?
Yep,
Okay.
particularly in the spring. I imagine
Good,
similar
good,
to
good.
Oklahoma City.
So you're ready.
You're
yes,
ready.
Yes, the wind, I will say though, more so than the cold, is definitely an obstacle. But I
Yes.
got my beanie ready, so I think that I'll be prepared. But we'll see what type of weather it throws at us.
Hopefully the wind is at your back. How many marathons have you run?
So this will be my 6th marathon in 6 months. I did my first one back in
Oh,
October
wow.
in San Diego.
Okay, so where else have you been? San Diego.
Yeah, so I did San Diego, and then I did LA, Philadelphia, Dallas. I did Las Vegas 3 weeks ago for the Mount Charleston Marathon, and then this one. And then
Alright.
Vancouver will be my 7th next week. So, like you say, we're a different breed. When
Yep.
you talk to a fellow
I'm
runner.
really grateful for your breed, but
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I'd say probably 9 out of 10 people I speak with, when I tell them that I'm a runner, the very first thing they say, which I'm sure you're accustomed to, is, "Oh my God, I hate running. I'll do anything
Yes,
but
yes,
run.
yeah.
I don't mind going to the gym. I'll lift
Right.
weights, but I hate running." But that one person out of 10 that you meet who's
That
a fellow
likes
runner,
running. Yep.
you could, like, if we were sitting next to each other in an airplane
right.
and I
we
found out
we
you're a
could
runner,
talk the whole entire trip.
we'd
Yep.
talk for 3 hours about running, and people listen and be like, "Well, you guys are crazy. Like, it's just running." But it's like, you know, that first 3 miles, sometimes you get out there and the weather's bad, whether it be windy, and you're like, today's not a good day for a run. But after you hit that 3 mile mark,
Settle in.
you get that runner's high,
Yep.
and then it's like you can run forever. And
Yep.
it's just the euphoric bliss that you can't get from anything else.
Yeah.
Well, Landon, thank you so much for coming and running. And
Yeah.
you got to hear the next story from this guy, Dan Little, who's run 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents. You got to stay
Wow.
for a second
Yep,
and talk to this
yeah.
guy.
Wow, no, I'd love to hear from him. He'll
Yeah.
be an inspiration.
So-
Well,
Yep.
yes.
Thank you for coming to Oklahoma City and
I
stopping
hope
by.
that you love it. Let us know what you think about our course.
Yes.
I hope that you love it.
No, I appreciate that, and thank you for having me. I love the city. Everybody here is so kind and hospitable. It's great. So I'll let him speak.
I'll
and-
look for you at the finish
Yeah.
line.
All right, thank you
Thanks,
guys.
Landon.
All
Best
right.
of luck.
Well, look who's here. Dan Little has made his way to Oklahoma City to run the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. And Dan, as I said, has run. Hey, Dan. Barry Switzer told us your story on the podcast a few months ago. And as you know, I stalked you. I think that night.
I mean,
started
he
calling
did.
you.
We were pretty much kind of stopped in our tracks.
Yeah,
When
we thought Barry was telling one of Barry's
Spencer
stories.
told the story. We were like, wait.
And your dad went and did our research
He
for
did.
us.
My dad happened to be down at the podcast watching that day, and he found your story and was like, look, here it is. This guy really ran 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents.
At 76 years old.
Yes, and that's the truly remarkable part.
Well, I don't know. He's run 218 marathons or ultra marathons. Is that right?
218.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So there you go.
So Sunday will
Yeah.
be 219.
And right now you're our elder. You're the eldest running in the race on Sunday.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we'll do a tip of the hat to you on Sunday morning. Unless there's some 80-year-old that comes in and registers, you've got it.
You're the winner.
So all I've got to do is finish.
What in the world are you trying to teach the rest of us?
You know, how fun and funny and great is life, that you can be among the slowest and now among the oldest, and be here doing this.
I mean, absolutely living life to its fullest is what it says. It's a great example.
No, I mean, I've always been at the back of the pack. To now get this recognition, it's fun and funny.
Well, I've got to give you a message from a mutual friend, Polly and Larry Nichols, Polly's a survivor of the bombing, as you know, and Larry, and they would be here this weekend, but they're at a convention, but they're going to try to get back Sunday to see you come across the finish line because they're such a big fans of Dan Little. So I told Polly I'd say hi to you.
There's no hurry for them to get up and get out early. They can come in way after lunch.
I told her to be there about noon.
What great
Oklahomans.
people.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
gee.
they're very best. They're so great and very generous and kind. But they said to say hi to Dan Little. Tell us a little bit about your story and your journey as you went 7 continents in 7 days.
I really want to hear about this.
You know, I never heard of it vaguely. It was not on my bucket list. And Dustin Rowe, who was then a Tishomingo lawyer friend, now on the Supreme Court, sent me an article from the New York Times about this race. And he put on it, "This is you. Do it for your grandchildren." And I read that and I said, this is perfect for my grandchildren, but not in the way Dustin would have thought. I've always told my grandchildren, "Fooey on fof." Fooey on fof. That's just one of my deals. And
that's your Danism.
Fof, yeah, that's a great word. Or a poppyism.
Yeah, poppyism.
So FOF is an acronym for fear of failure. So fooey on fear of failure. So I say just never let fear of failure stop you. And we all have an acute fear of failure. And I say the way you get over fear of failure, you fail. Well, you say, what? You fail? Well, you do things beyond your capability, or you're at the back of the pack. So I thought, I can never finish this. It is absolutely beyond my capability. I will enter, I will train, I'll do my best, I'll let everybody know. And then when I fail, my grandkids will say, you know, Poppy did his best. It was a fun deal and no big deal that he failed. And then minor miracles never cease, and I finished.
And what did they think of Poppy?
Oh, you know, they were as surprised as my daughters.
Were they watching on social media? Because they're not obviously not going to.
Well, yes, and you know, two of my daughters made it to Miami to the finish line.
Oh, they did?
And,
okay, great.
Yeah, so.
And so you're going to do it again?
Oh, you are?
I am.
When is this?
Antarctica will be October 25th.
Okay.
And that's the first of the 7?
That's the first of the 7,
oh my
with
gosh.
good reason.
Yes. So how does that, you literally fly in and you land?
We congregate at Cape Town,
okay.
Go through orientation, then we fly 5 hours to Antarctica, land on, you know, just the air base,
right.
this ice,
right.
Get off, do the marathon, and, you know, then fly back to Cape Town. And last time it got down to minus 20 in Antarctica. Then 25 hours later, we were doing Cape Town, and by chance, they had an historic heat wave, got up to 103.
Yeah, that's unreal.
That is.
How'd your body handle that?
Poorly.
You look like you're in the best shape. You've got a great tan. You're ready to run. I'm so impressed.
So do you sleep on the plane?
You sleep on the plane. You eat on the plane.
Everything's on the plane.
And I mean, if
you didn't shower for 7 days.
But that's the advantage of being, or the disadvantage of being in the back of the pack, because by the time I got in with the back of the pack, the middle pack, the front pack, they've eaten, they're showered, they're ready to, and we're on a tight schedule. So it's just load them up.
Well, good thing about wipies. Wow, that's amazing. And so you're going to speak tomorrow. You're going to tell us your story tomorrow. And
I am.
We're so excited. He will be here tomorrow.
And between now and tomorrow, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to say.
What you're going to say tomorrow at 1 o'clock. If you've got slides, we'll show the pictures.
Yes, lots of time.
He'll be at the Why We Run booth tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We can't wait to hear the story in full.
Well,
the whole story.
Thank you, and thank you all.
So you've run this race a lot, because after Barry Switzer told us the story, which I thought was a Barry Switzer story, until Papa found the real story.
We did our research.
We started looking, and I saw you've run this race, the Memorial Marathon.
I've done this race, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. New York City is the one I've done 27 times.
Oh, wow. It's remarkable.
So, I've just been... I've done 218 here and there.
What a remarkable. And you're 79 years old.
And full
yes.
And the full on Sunday, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Doing the full? Yep. Okay.
And on October 25th, I will be within 1 month of being 80.
Wow.
And I've always said, I'm going to do this once I turn 80. So does this mean I have to do it again?
Oh my gosh,
I'm not sure.
That's a good question. Kristin's running the full Sunday too.
Yep.
Okay, great.
I'll be at the full. I might be at the back of the pack with you too.
Well,
I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
I will be at the back of the pack.
I hear that's where all the fun is anyway. So
it's a different.
Yes.
It's a different race. It really is.
Yep, that's kind of what I've heard, and I might be there with you.
Good.
That's
good.
amazing.
We'll see how things go.
Dan, thanks for being here. I know you drove in from southeastern Oklahoma, and we're glad to have you here. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, thanks.
Come hear his story, because it's.
I know, that's unbelievable.
Great stories.
I mean, when Barry Switzer told us that story.
I thought he was making it up.
We did. We thought there's no way this is true. There's no way somebody can do this, and he did. And he's doing it again.
And he's doing it again.
Yeah. Absolutely crazy.
So marathon legends Joan Benoit Samuelson will be here, Dick Beardsley, Mark Chisetto, who just won the para division of the Boston Marathon.
Yes.
They'll be here actually today at 3 o'clock for a Better Conversations. Go listen to them and
stop by the Legends booth to see them.
Yeah,
get
absolutely.
a running journal so you can keep track of your running for next year's race.
Yep. Well, Kristin, that was 90 minutes. That went fast.
That went really fast.
Let's hope your race goes as fast.
I really hope that the race day goes as fast as these 90 minutes went.
Well, that's good.
This has been a lot of fun. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us for the weekend. And come stop by the Expo. It's not too late to sign up for the race.
We've got one last episode next week.
Yes, that's right.
A wrap-up.
That's right. There will be a wrap-up episode next week. Hear how we all did.
But for now, that's a wrap on episode 16, right?
Yes. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you at the finish line.
Thanks so much.
Mama.